Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. We are diving into another random tier list this morning. Today, I wasn't really planning on doing this one, but I found this tier list, and we're going to do World of Warcraft zones. So, in World of Warcraft, there's like a lot of different places you can quest through and play through and fight through, and each one usually has their very unique quest lines and environment and kind of what they look like, and you can kind of tell that from these pictures down here. Which very helpfully have the names of the zones on them, which is why I wanted to use this. Now, if you have never played World of Warcraft, this may or may not make sense to you. I will do my best to explain as I go, but there are a lot of them, so I won't be able to do all of them. And in addition to that, I have not planned this really at all because I just found this tier list, so bear with me as I go through and speak to myself about where some of these will go. Our tier list, as you can see, starts from amazing and goes down to awful. With the middle ones in between. Decent will be a kind of like our C tier. I imagine we'll probably get a lot of zones in that tier. We're going to start off with 1,000 Needles, and I'm going to go with the live versions of the zones. I'm not going to go with what they originally were, and by that I mean 1,000 Needles used to be kind of like a desert, and at one point it got flooded. So now it's all flooded, and it's just annoying to play in. The quest lines are okay, but unless you're going through the specific quest line in the zone, it really is bad to play through. I really am not a big fan. And by the way, as we're going through this, I have played in all of these zones at least once, I believe. Some of them it has been years. Some of them are more recent. Some of them I've gone through more than once, like Draenor I've gone through more than once, and some of these other ones. I'll mention as we go, probably. Alterac Mountains. Alterac Mountains is no longer a zone. It has now been merged into Hillsbrad Foothills, so I'm surprised they still have this here. This used to be a zone basically above another one called Hillsbrad, and they combined them together, and I believe they also added part of it to another zone. I had no issue with Alterac Mountains. There wasn't a lot to do there, though, if I remember correctly. If I'm thinking of just like the Alterac Valley or the Alterac Mountains part of the Hillsbrad zone, you go up and you explore where like the magical city of Dalaran used to be. It's now been moved because magic. I guess decent, nothing bad about it. Now, Antoran Wastes is one of these zones on Argus, which is an alien world you can go to, and I played through those once. I did not play when they were live, so I played through them later once. So I really could not tell you the specifics of a lot of it. So with that in mind, I do remember enjoying the zones. I thought they were good. I thought they were very challenging at times, but that was probably because I was trying to do it by myself. If I had been doing it with other people, it probably wouldn't have been better. I'm going to go and put Antoran Wastes in good. Arathi Highlands, I used to really, really like this zone. This is one of my favorite places to level. And, it probably still is. They have a lot of quests kind of together, a lot of easy quests to do. I think it's a great zone. It's not going to blow you away, but I think it's a good zone. Ashenvale, I also think is a pretty great zone. Lots of good quests to do there. With how the quest works now, it's a lot of Horde versus Alliance faction fighting there. But I feel like the quests take you through the zone very easily. You don't have to really wander around very much in the zone. You'll finish one area, they send you to a next. You'll finish that area, they send you to a next. It's fun to play on a low-level character. Ashran is amazing. Back when Ashran was live, Ashran was a PvP fighting other players zone. Back when that was live, I remember getting groups of 40 people together, and we would go and fight, other groups of 40 people, and it was just amazing. I know Ashran was not everybody's cup of tea, but I have a lot of good memories of playing Ashran when it was live. And I've played it a little bit now that they've lowered the level on it and stuff. It's not as good now, but it's still pretty cool. I like Ashran. Ashran is one of my favorite things from that expansion from Draenor. Azuna. Azuna's pretty great. They have the demons, they have the blue dragonflight there. Lots of different things going on in the zone. I might end up moving this down. Also, I think Ashenvale is better than Arathi. Let's put Azuna in the bottom of the great tier for now. Ashara, I'm gonna put it at the top of good tier. Nothing bad about Ashara, but it is kind of spread out, and I do remember some of the quests just kind of dragging a little bit, but it's a good zone. It's good. Azurmist Isle is one of my favorite places, one of my favorite starting zones to level. It's very pretty. Um, the quests don't seem to take a lot of time. I haven't leveled through it in a long time. I leveled through part of it recently, but as far as the whole zone, I haven't leveled through it in a while. But I'm going to put that in great because I do have good memories of playing through Azurmist. I think it's a good starting area to go through. Badlands is, I think, also pretty great to level through. Is it good? Is it good or great? It's either at the bottom of great or the top of good, honestly. It's a good zone. There's a lot of different things happening in it. You have to go and explore, like, how Deathwing, the big dragon, came and caused a lot of destruction there. You work with the Reliquary of your Horde, which is a very, very underused faction of treasure hunters for the Horde. Yeah, I think it's a great zone. I would definitely level through it again. I guess that's the thing. Blades Edge Mountains is pretty awful. It did not age very well at all. I love the appearance of the zone, which actually I think the appearance of the zone and the different things you see there maybe takes this up to bad. But it is just so difficult to level through, especially you pretty much have to have a flying mount there. And if you don't have the fast one, you're going to be going all over the place. It's very difficult to level through Blades Edge. There's low drop rates on stuff. The quests don't make any sense. Or rather, they don't tell you what you need to do. It's not very good. Blasted Lands as well. I'm going to put this at the top of bad tier. It's just, I didn't have a lot of fun leveling through there. I don't know what it was about it. The Blasted Lands now isn't really used for leveling, but you can still go back in time and use the time travel people, the Bronze Dragon Flight, to go back and do the old version. I don't know. I don't think it's that great, though. Blood Mist Isle I like. Not as much as Azurmist, but I think it's good, probably. Yeah, probably top of good here. Borean Tundra is pretty great, in my opinion. Probably the top of great here. It's Borean, not Boreal. But Borean Tundra, lots of things to do there. You can get a lot of levels in Borean. The quests kind of just go through. You don't really lag or get stuck anywhere from what I remember. I've leveled through it multiple times, but it's been a little while. But Borean, yeah, good zone. Broken Shore I thought was good. I think I like Broken Shore definitely better than Argus, but it was an area where if you weren't doing it with other people, I mean, it was meant to be done, end game at max level with other people. So if you don't do it as that, you do definitely have some difficulty there. And there's not a whole lot to do there because it was made for that end game content. So I think I put it here and good. Burning Steps I like. Burning Steps I think is a pretty good zone. Probably top of good there. Good zone. Lots to do. It's very flat, but it's deceivingly busy with a lot of things to do. The only part of, actually, I'm going to take it down because the only part of this I don't like is the whole like underground Iron Dwarfs section. Because you have to just go underground so much and you can't fly down there. It's obnoxious. I'll take that down underneath Blood Mist. Crystal Song Forest is decent. There's really nothing to do there. I wish they had added more to it. The visuals in Crystal Song with the crystal trees is beautiful, but there's not a lot to do there. So I can't put that higher than decent. Darkshore is very good. Very, very good. Is it amazing? It's definitely a place I choose to level through. If I had to choose any place to level through as Alliance, I would definitely choose Darkshore. So I'd probably put that up in amazing. Deadwind Pass. Not a lot to do there, right? Not a lot to level through. They have Karazhan, the dungeon and raid there. The locale is fine. I mean, it's decent. In terms of being just an interlude zone, I like Crystal Song better. Crystal Song Forest better. Deep Home is pretty great. I have a lot of fun leveling through Deep Home. So, is it better than Ashen Vale and Borean? I think it's going to go right there. Desolus is good. Probably top of good. Good zone to level through. Some of the quests send you a little bit further out than I would like. And the locale, I mean, it's very dead and everything, obviously. But, yeah. And when I level through it, some of the quests, it's just like, I don't care about what I'm doing. So that's going to keep it from being higher. But it's good. It's a good zone. Dragon Blight is probably my favorite Wrath zone. Lot of luck to do there. Love all the dragon stuff. Love all the Lich King stuff. It's a great zone. It's an amazing zone. Dread Waste is whatever. It's been a while since I've leveled through there. It's good, but it's just decent. It's just decent. You know, top of decent there. Drustvar. Drustvar is good. Probably better than Desolus. Lots of like witches and like 1800s kind of vibe. Yeah, it's good. Dunmoreau, I think, is a pretty good starting zone as well. I don't know that it's as good as a Zermist. I feel like I might need another tier up here. Would I rather level through Drustvar? I'd rather level through Dunmoreau. Durotar is good. I've done Durotar a lot of times. So it might be a little further down for me because of that. I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. Now, Duskwood, I don't know if I've ever leveled through Duskwood all the way. I definitely have leveled through it partially, but I think I got the quest for this one, comped for me because I did it on Horde, and Horde doesn't have to do this one. So, well, I mean, the looks of it and everything is very cool. I can't comment on how good the quests are, but the looks and everything, good stuff, especially for like the old world. Probably put it here. Dustwallow Marsh is an amazing zone to level through. It goes so fast. It does make you bounce around a little bit, but it gives you a lot of experience in a short amount of time. So I think that's a pretty cool zone. And the locale is good. You fight dragons. You fight swamp monsters. You fight a lot of different stuff. Elwyn is good. Probably on the same tier as Durotar. Maybe a little bit better than Durotar. Starting area of the humans. Eastern Plaguelands, I think, is decent. The ambiance and everything, the environment is nice, very unique, but it's very large. It takes a while to do, which we'll get to some other ones that take longer. But I think it is better than Dread Wastes, but not my favorite zone. Though there is some cool. I have to put this in good actually, because I think it's better than Ashara. Probably better than Broken Shore, too. Okay. Eversong Woods, I've done a million times. So for me, Eversong is just not that exciting, but that's because I've done it before a lot. So when I'm looking here at Eversong, it's kind of just normal for me, right? Like, I think I'd rather level through Elwyn or Durotar. So yeah, I'll put that there. Do we need another tier here? So we have amazing so far, and then great and good. Do we need another tier here? All right, sorry guys, I paused the video for a sec just to kind of think about that and get a drink. But I'm back, and I think that we do need another tier here because there are some zones down here that I do like, and it's going to be a little arbitrary which one I put them in. So just bear with me here. We're going to go ahead and add a zone or add a section above this one. Exit out of that. This section will be very good. So that's how we'll do that, I guess. So we can think of amazing as like S plus. Great is going to be S, A, B, C, D, E, or F. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Sorry, I could have done this before, guys, but as I said, I didn't really plan this. So once I saw this, I was like, oh, that's the one I'm going to do, you know? So I hope you guys don't mind me doing this now. Let's go double S. All right. So with all that in mind, let's reassess a couple of these. In terms of zone, so good is just like, this is just like barely above, you know, decent. Like it's good. A would be like very good, you know, definitely a zone I want to play again. S is like a great zone, fantastic. And then SS is just like the best zones in the game. So with all that in mind, I think our C tier and D tiers are fine. I think Dun Moreau is a great zone, or a very good zone. So is Dressfar. So is Desolace, Duskwood. And I think that might be it. Blood Mist, I think, is just good. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for our zones. But I need to change the colors here, actually, right? So orange. So this should be yellow. This should be green, right? Am I missing a color? Oh, I'm missing like the light yellow. So this should be that color. This should be yellow. This should be green. I just messed that up. This should be green. This should be the dark green. And our awful tier is going to be the cyan, the blue. All right. And with this in mind, guys, I think Dark Shore is actually just great. And I think Azure Mist goes down to very good. As does... Yeah. I think Azunas and Badlands are over Arathi. I think Arathi is going down to very good. All right. Let's keep it going, guys. I apologize for that interlude there. Had to fix a couple of those. That's what happens with these sometimes, especially when you don't think about it beforehand. Fellwood, I think, is a great zone. I like Fellwood better than Darkshore. It's going to be at the very top of great for me, I think. Very good. Very great zone. Is it SS? Is it amazing? Do I like it better than I think I like Dustwallow better. So I'm going to leave it in the top of great for now. Feralis is a good zone. I'd even call it a very good zone. I think it's on par with like Duskwood and Desolace. Perhaps not quite as good as Drustvar. Yeah. Frostfire Ridge is good. No problems with it. Now, obviously, some of the newer zones have a lot more going for them than the old zones, but I'm going kind of based on how I like playing through them. And Frostfire takes a while. And I feel like you're doing very similar things in all the parts of the zone. I don't know if that criticism makes sense, but I feel like no matter where you are in the zone, you're fighting orcs, you're fighting ogres. And I know that makes sense because of where it is, but I don't know. I just didn't like this zone as much as I thought I would. Now, that said, it's still a good zone. It's definitely better than Eastern Plaguelands, Burning Steppes. It's better than these starting zones. But I don't think it's as good as Duskwood or Desolace. I'm going to put Duskwood ahead of Desolace. Yeah, I think it's the top of good tier. Ghostlands is also, I think that one's going to be right above Frostfire, actually. It's a good zone. A lot going for it. The problem is you can't fly in it, which is really, really obnoxious. But it's a good zone. Unique things to do. So I'm going to put that into good tier. Gilneas is excellent, but it takes so long to do that's the problem with it. But even though it does, I think I like it better than I think I'm going to put it in very good. And it's probably right underneath Arathi. Like, I'd rather do Arathi. And in fact, I'd rather do Azure Mist. And in fact, I'd rather do Dun Moreau. So I guess it's right there in the middle of very good. Gorgrond is one of the biggest zones in the game. Lots of stuff happening there. It's almost just not worth it to do everything in the zone because it's so big. That's not really a knock on the zone. The zone is good. I like it better than Frostfire. Um, I think it's probably better than Alice in my mind too. Maybe even over Dressfire, right there. Grizzly Hills is an interesting zone. It's fun to play through. Lots of stuff happening. And I'm sorry, guys, if this is too positive of a playlist, but a lot of the zones in WoW were good. The questing in WoW usually is not the problem. I'm not playing World of Warcraft currently because a lot of times the issues with World of Warcraft is once you hit max level, the things to do then. And I don't want to get into that too much, but the zones are good. You know, leveling and leveling up, that's one of my favorite parts about playing the game, honestly. I think Gorgon is better than Grizzly. I think Grizzly is probably on par with like kind of Dressfar. Hellfire Peninsula. It's a great zone in my opinion. I've leveled through it a lot and I never get tired of it. I'd rather do Hellfire than Borean, but it's about on that tier. High Mountain. I love a lot about this zone. I almost want to put in Amazing, but it's very repetitive at times and it takes a long time sometimes. So I'm going to put it at the bottom of great tier. Hillsbrad Foothills is an amazing zone. Very fun zone, fun quest to do, goes quick for the most part. There's one area that goes a little slow. I'm going to put that in the amazing tier. Hinterlands is good. Nothing bad about Hinterlands here. Probably would rather do Ghostlands or Frostfire. It's a little spread out, but you know, it's a good zone. It's, you know. Do I break up these starting zones? I got 4 of the starting zones kind of all next to each other here. Yeah, it's better than Eastern. Howling Fjord is bad. It's better than Blade's Edge. It's not a good zone, though. Everything's too spread out. If you don't have a flying mount, it takes a ridiculous amount of time to get places. It takes a long time to do as well. Yeah, I might move some of these bad ones down to awful as we go, but yeah. Mount Hyjal. Mount Hyjal's good. Is it very good? Is it great? I think it's great. I think Mount Hyjal is probably better than High Mountain. Probably better than the Badlands for sure. Better than Azuna, Ashen Vale. Right there with Deepholm, I think. I like Deepholm better a little bit, but I think it's because I just like the underground aspect of Deepholm. Icecrown's bad. Icecrown has some amazing storylines and some really amazing scenes. There's a lot to do with like the Lich King and stuff, but the zone is, I think, the longest in the game in terms of quests. You can spend a lot of time there and not really accomplish much. So I think it's better than Howling Fjord just because it's a better set of quests and a better area to level through in terms of like you feel like you're accomplishing more in the grand scheme of things, but you're not going to be leveling up much there. It takes a long time. Isle of Thunder, I'm not a huge fan of. With a lot of these kind of like end game zones, I think Broken Shore was better. Probably going to put it here. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but eh. Jade Forest. I know a lot of people love Jade Forest. But I don't know. It's very spread out. And it's very large for a starting zone for an expansion. So I think it is very good though. There is a lot of interesting things to do there. I'd rather do Drusvar. I'd rather do Grizzly. I'd rather do Feralis. Probably put it here over Desolus. Kazan, one of the starting areas of the goblins. It's a city. It's decent. I don't like this goblin starting area, but I'd rather do it than Dread Wastes. Is it better than... Yeah, top of decent. Crasserine Wilds, I like a lot more than I thought I would when I was like going through and playing it. I didn't think I'd like it. I actually like it better than Jade Forest. It plays a lot quicker, and at least for the Horde, they have very interesting quest chains there and stuff. So I actually really like this zone. Like I said, I didn't think I would, because I didn't level through it initially back in like when Pandaria was the main expansion. I didn't level through it. Yeah, I think it's right here. I think it's a great zone. Kokrun, like I said, Kokrun. I don't really remember the difference between these two, Antoran Waste and Kokrun, so I'm going to put that right there next to Antoran Waste. Kunlai Summit, I'm not a big fan of. It's decent. Better than the Nothing Zones. Better than Alterac. And better than Dread Waste, too. It's very spread out. It's very big. And I feel like I just get so tired of fighting monkeys. And that's what you do for the majority of Kunlai. Lochmadon's a good zone. Probably better than Decimus. So it's a very good zone. And Decimus is probably better. Lochmadon, I'm trying to remember what you do there. I like a lot of the starting area zones. I think a lot of them are fun. I'll put this at the top of good, right over Ghostlands. Lost Isles is the other Goblin starting zone. I do like it better than Kezin, but not by much. It's going to be here in the lower part of good, I think. Is it better than Broken Shore and Ashara? It's probably kind of right here with Ashara. Macquarie is the alien planet, the Argus zone that I like the best. This one goes with Antoran Waste and Korkrun, but I do actually like this one better than those two. I'm going to put this higher in good tier, but still just good tier. Again, I'm a little biased. I didn't do this when it was live. If I had done this when it was live, there would have been more people running around, more help on stuff. I did it later, so I probably am not using the right experience for that, but it's still a good zone. Mechagon's decent. They tried really hard with a lot of cool things in Mechagon, and I appreciate it. But it just takes so long to do things there because the quests are time gated, and there's just a lot going on. Once you get flying, Mechagon is a lot better. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Mechagon, unfortunately. Moonglade's fine. Not a lot to do there. Again, it's like Crystal Song and Deadwind. I like how they use it for Druid quests and some of the quests for the holidays. So I think I do like it actually better than Alterac Mountains, or what was left of Alterac Mountains. Probably like it better than Mechagon too. So put that in decent. Mulgore was the first zone I ever leveled through. My first character ever was a Tauren. So that's cool. And I do like the changes they made in the Cataclysm to the zone. But it still takes a long time to do things. It's very flat there. So I think I don't like it as much as Elwyn or Duratar. Do I like it better than Eversong? No, I think Mulgore is not as good as Eversong. Probably better than Broken Shore, though. Yeah, put it there. So we have two versions of Nagrand here. We have the Nagrand from Outland, and then we have the Nagrand from Draenor. I love the original Nagrand, and I'm not a big fan of the new Nagrand because it was more of a high level zone. And for a long time we couldn't fly there, which was very annoying, and they had high level mobs running through, and I don't know. The quests there are fine because you do get the conclusion of the Garrosh storyline there, but I'm not happy with how that storyline finished. Again, I apologize if you don't know what I'm talking about there. I think Nagrand Draenor is decent, top of decent here. Nagrand Outland is great. That's probably my favorite Outland zone. I do like it better than Hellfire, and I probably like it better than Darkshore too. Also, I'm going to move Felwood up. Said I might do that. Najatar, I want to like the underwater zone. I really want to. But it's just bad. Oh, wait, Najatar isn't the underwater zone. That's Nazmir, right? Najatar is the... it's like Mechagon, right? It's the expansion zone. I still don't like Najatar, though. So I'm still putting it in bad. But, yeah, until you get flying in Najatar, it's just annoying to do things there. And it's just everything's so spread out. Nazmir isn't the underwater zone either. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Bashir. That's what I'm thinking of. Though speaking of Nazmir, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's decent. It's fine. I don't know what it is about Nazmir. I just get bored while I'm there. Someone put in decent. Now, this storm's bad. A lot of the Burning Crusade zones have this problem, with the exception of Hellfire and Nagrand Outland. A lot of them just were not made for solo players, plain and simple. Especially Netherstorm, and we'll get to Shadow Moon Valley in a sec. They weren't made with people playing by themselves in mind, and that's what people do now. It's a bad zone in terms of quest design and everything. The quests and everything are entertaining, so I'm not going to put in awful, but yeah. The Isle of Quel Danas, again, not really much here. It's an endgame zone. It's cool locale. There's a raid there. I can't put it higher than decent, though. Not a lot to do there. Put it right here over Deadwind. Red Ridge is good, perhaps even very good. I'm going to put it at the top of good for now. I think it's better than Ghostlands. Probably not as good as Loch Madan, in my opinion. Right around there. Searing Gorge, I used to like, but I actually like Burning Steps better now. For whatever reason. I guess just the quests that are there. So I put Burning Steps in the good tier. I think I'm also going to put Searing Gorge there, but perhaps at the bottom of good tier. Next, we have Shadow Moon Valley, which has two versions because of one being in Outland and one being in Draenor. Two different timelines there that you can access. The Shadow Moon Valley in Outland sucks. It's going to be my first awful tier. This hurts because I love some of the quests that are there. I really do. I think some of the quests that are there are very, very good. But when I say some of the quests are good, I mean the stories are good. Actually, questing through there is awful, and that's why it ends up in awful tier. It's one of the worst zones in the game in terms of questing through it. If I was basing this entire thing on just quests, which I've been mentioning a lot, but I am taking kind of like environment into account, because Ice Crown would definitely be down here if I'm just doing quests. But yeah, Shadow Moon's probably the worst zone in the game in terms of quest design and that kind of thing. Shadow Moon Valley Draenor is not great for me. I do think I like it better than Frostfire, but it's going to just go right above Frostfire. Sholazar Basin is a good zone. Probably here. I like it better than Jade Forest. Silithus is cool. It's a good zone. Is it very good? Nah. Probably like it better than Shadow Moon Valley Draenor. Silverpine Forests is amazing. Very, very, very good zone. You level through it quick. Fantastic storylines. Quests are easy to do. Good locale and environment and everything. I like it better than Fellwood. I like it better than Duskwallow. It's right there with Hillsbrad for me. Spires of Iraq, I am not a big fan of. Spires of Iraq has the benefit where you do get the additional experience from leveling through there, which is nice. But I'm just not a fan of the Arakoa, the bird people. I don't know what it is about it. I'm not a big fan of them. So unfortunately, I'm going to put Spires of Iraq in bad. It is better than Najatar though. Stone Talon Mountains, actually like the old version of better than the newer version. There's a lot of paths to get to different places now. That said, it is a very quick zone to play through. Which, by the way, this is definitely making me... My World of Warcraft account is not active right now, but this is definitely making me want to re-up and just level. Not worry about endgame, just level. Stone Talon here, taking a look at this. Probably Stone Talon over... Is it over the starting zones? It probably is over these starting zones. It's definitely better than Shadow Moon and Frostfire. Better than Silithus, better than Macquarie. We're going higher with this than I thought. I think we're going to put it at the top of good. Not very good. Top of good tier for it. Storm Peaks sucks. There's some cool things happening in Storm Peaks, But everything is so spread out. It takes a very long time to do anything in the zone, similar to Ice Crown, and the quests are not as cool as Ice Crown. So, definitely better than Howling Fjord. In fact, Howling Fjord, I feel like needs to be lowered. We don't have much in Awful tier yet, so I do think I'm going to move this down into Awful tier. And if I'm moving that down, I think we have to move Netherstorm down too. Does Blade's Edge get to stay in bad? No, it doesn't. But I will change this order and put it above Howling now that I reassess that. Yeah. All right. Stormheim is fine. Probably good, but not very high and good. There. Around a Shara level, probably. Yeah. Should I break this up into like good for leveling and good for like, because all of our zones that are like, we have like Ghostland. No, Ghostland's a leveling zone, but like we have the end game zones like Broken Shore and Torrent Wastes, and we also have like the leveling zones. So like Azure Mist. I don't know. We'll throw them in like this. Maybe at some point I will do a starting zone tier list, which maybe I should have done first. We'll do like Blood Mist versus Dark Shore, or Loch Madon or whatever. Sorry, they're all mixed up now, so that's all right. We'll leave it how it is. But good is just going to be a big tier, is what it is. And Ashran's still our best zone in the game, according to our tier. Let's see if that changes. Stormsong Valley is fine. It is better for sure. Where did I put Drustvar? I put Drustvar in very good. I like Stormsong better than Drustvar. I think I'd put it right here, right below Arathi. Stranglethorn Vale is... There's aspects of the zone I like, there's aspects I don't. So that's probably going to end up in good tier. Probably right around Searing Gorge. Zormar sucks. They have a good storyline in the zone, but it's very, very long. And it was meant to do it at max level. It's very difficult to do now. Because I guess you could do it over leveled and just plow through it, but the Surmar is just very long. I hate all the like masquerading in the city and stuff, and yeah. Probably better than Spires of Iraq. Is it? Is it better than Spires of Iraq? Yeah, probably. Swamp of Sorrows is one of my lesser favorite of the original zones. Original, jeez. Yeah, I like it better than Searing. Not as good as Stranglethorn. It's good though. Talador. Talador is... It's decent. Yeah, it's decent. I don't have much else to say about it. Tearsfall Glades is a good starting zone. It's probably one of the best starting zones. It's better than Azure Mist. I think I'm going to put this in great. It's a great starting zone. Dark Shore is, I guess, not a starting zone. It's a level 10 to 20 zone, leveling zone. But Tearsfall is going to be right there with Dark Shore, I think. And I think those two are both better than a Grand, if we're being honest. Yeah, Tearsfall is a very good zone. It's a great zone. Tannan Jungle is decent. Again, it's an endgame zone, which I guess I put the endgame zones up here. And Tannan does have a lot more to do than Broken Shore. So I guess I'll put that up here, right over Broken Shore. Tannerus is also good. I feel like we're just ending up with a lot of these in the good tier, so we might have to move some of these down to decent. I'll assess that in a sec. But Tannerus is good. Is it over Elwyn? It's very spread out. I think I'd rather level through Mulgore. So I think Searing Gorge needs to be moved down to decent. I don't have very strong feelings about it. Swamp of Sorrows as well. We'll leave Stranglethorn in good for now. And I think we're going to move Stone Talon up to very good. Just trying to alleviate the stress on good here. Is Arathi great? Arathi isn't great. So that's going to stay in very good. Yeah, so we'll go with that. Teldrassil is fine. Yeah, it's a fine starting zone. I don't have any really strong feelings for it. I don't have any really negative feelings for it. I think I'd rather level through Teldrassil than Eversong Woods. Even though Eversong might be better in terms of questing, Teldrassil I think looks better. I like the vibe better, the environment. So that's over Eversong, I think. Jerichar Forest sucks. It is better definitely than Blade's Edge. So I guess it goes to the bottom of bad. You know what? It's better than Storm Peak's Nice Crown too. And I think it's better than Thousand Needles. And Blasted Lands. And Najatar. And Spires and Suramar. So it's going to be at the top of our bad tier. The Barrens. So this tier list did not split up the Barrens into 2 zones, which I don't know what this tier list is doing because they have all the new zones, with the exception of it does not have Shadowlands zones, I'm realizing. So that's fine. But it didn't, they didn't split up the Barrens into 2 zones like it is now. They didn't split up Stranglethorn. So it's interesting what they're doing here on this tier list. It's fine though. Barrens is very good. A lot to do there. Very big zone. Barrens chat is a meme of just people messing around in that zone. Yeah, very. I think it's even great. I really like the quest in North and Southern Barrens too. Once the split happens, yeah, I think it's right here, right under Crasserang. Next, we have Timeless Isles, which I think is probably the best endgame zone they ever did. I'm gonna put it right at the bottom of Amazing there. Kiergaard Sound is my favorite Alliance Kul'Taroth zone, so the Battle for Azeroth zones. So it's better than Stormsong, in my opinion. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of Greg tier. I think I'd rather do High Mountain. Tolbrod is another end zone, PvP zone, leveling zone. I liked Ashran a lot better. But Tolbrod is decent. I'm going to end up putting it right here around. It's so arbitrary where I put it, isn't it? I like it better than Nazmir. I'm going to put it right here in between Nagrand and Talador. Next, we have Townlong Steps. Another Panda zone, Pandaria zone. Townlong is very large. I do like it better than Dread Wastes. I put Dread Wastes in decent here. So I think Townlong is going to end up here in good tier. Probably better than all these random zones. Is it better than the starting zones we have here kind of in the middle? I think it actually is. Let me think about it. Would I rather level in Teldrassil, Townlong, or Eversong? Teldrassil. I think Townlong goes right in the middle of this. And also Stranglethorn's going to decent. Twilight Highlands. I have not finished leveling through this zone. I have not. I said I leveled through all the zones. I guess I forgot. Because this one I have not finished leveling through, but I love the environment here. The dragons, the corruption, lots of different things happening here. So just on that, I'm going to put it at the bottom of very good because I'm excited to level through there. I've done a little bit, but not the whole thing. Oldham is a decent zone. Even a good zone. It takes a while to level through it, but the quest lines are good. I'm going to put it at the very top of good. Ungoro Crater is one of my favorite zones. I think it's great. It is a little spread out, but it's pretty quick to do. I think I'd rather do Ungoro than Badlands or Zuna. or Ashenvale. Put it right there next to the Barrens. The Vale of Eternal Blossoms. I don't know how to feel about the zone because it's been remade a couple times with the various expansions happening there. It's just decent. It's fine. Valley of the Four Winds. One of the better panda zones. Where did I put Jade Forest? I put Jade Forest in very good. I think Valley is just good. Probably, I think Oldham is better than it, though. Val Shara. I was not a big fan of Val Shara. I know some people really, really love it. I feel like because I knew how the story there ended with the Emerald Dragonflight and the Nightmare and everything, I feel like I didn't like the zone as much. I got a little tired of fighting demons, though it wasn't the demon-themed expansion, so I guess that makes sense. I can't deny it's a good zone. I cannot deny that. But where to put it? Probably better than Burning Steps. Probably better than Eversong. Probably better than the starting areas. Is it better than Oldham? No. And it's better than Valley, though. Bashir sucks. Yeah, they try to do the underwater thing. I want to like the underwater thing. I'd rather do underwater than Howling Fjord again. But it's probably right here. Vol'dun is not one of my favorite zones. I'm not a big fan of laid out deserts when they don't go quickly. I think it's decent. Wandering Isle, the Panda starting zone, I think is good. I gotta put it up here with the other starting zones. I think it's better than Blood Mist. Perhaps not as good as Frostfire. Westfall is decent. Yeah, it's not gonna blow you away. Stranglethorn's better. I love Thunder. I'm gonna move down here to decent. Oldham, I'm gonna move up to very good. Now that I'm thinking about like the quests that are there and everything, I think Valshara is kind of the top of our good category now. Wetlands here. Wetlands. Very laid out. Probably just decent. Probably top of decent here. Very, very wide zone. I might be doing the zone wrong because I always start in the capital city there. I don't know. I'm gonna put in decent. Not. There's some things I just don't like about it. Winter Grasp. Winter Grasp. Is it good? Wintergrass was the first big PvP zone they did. I liked a lot of things about it. I think it's better than Tolbrod, which Tolbrod is down in where? Where did that end up? Decent. Yeah. Wintergrasp is good. Perhaps even very good. Let's put it at the bottom of very good. Winter Spring I like. I think it's a very good zone. I like it better than Arathi. Is it great? We'll leave it at the top of very good for now. Western Plaguelands I like better than Eastern, so that'll be our mark. Eastern Plaguelands I put here in good. So Western Plaguelands I'm going to put in very good, and I'm going to put it right above Wintergrasp, I think. Zanger Marsh is one of the better zones for Burning Crusade. In my opinion, I don't like it as much as Hellfire and Nagrand, but I do think it's a very good zone. Is it better than Winter? It probably is better than Winter Spring. And I think I like it better than Tier Guard too. So I think I'm going to actually lower down Tier Guard to very good. Yeah. Two more here. We have Zoldrak. Not one of my favorite zones out there. Put it here in bad. Top of bad. And then we have Zoldazar, which Zoldazar, I'll need to compare it here to Voldoon, which I put in decent, and Nazmir I also put in decent. I think Zoldazar is probably better than them, though it is more laid out than them. We'll put it at the top of decent tier here. Should we put Deadwind in bad? Trying to assess here. I can't in good conscience put Deadwind, Isle, or Crystal Song in bad because there's not a lot to do there. And they have good environments, good locale and everything. And Mechagon I can't put in bad because it's, they tried so hard with it. And I do like some of the stuff that's there. It's not just A for effort. Or C for effort in this case. Moonglade, Dreadways. All right. Well, that's all the zones. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. It looks like our awful zones are Blade's Edge, Vashmir, or Vashir. I've been saying too many names. Howling Fjord, Netherstorm, and Shadowmoon Valley Outland are bad ones, as you can see. Storm Peaks almost landing an awful there. And our amazing zones. Let's make sure these rankings are all good. We have Ashran, Dragonblight, Hillsbred, Silverpine, Dustwallow, Fellwood, and Timeless Isle. I think Hillsbred and Silverpine are better than Dragonblight, as I think Fellwood is. And I think Timeless is also better than those. I think that's going to be our ranking. I'm also going to move Tears Fall up to Amazing, but just over Dustwallow. I think Dustwall is going down to great, actually. I'm not as confident about that as I was. Okay, I think that is now our new ranking. So, this was a long video, guys. If you watched the whole thing, you are amazing. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Did I put your favorite zone down here somewhere? If so, I apologize, but obviously going off my own perspective on here, let me know. Leave a like if you like this video. I'll be back tomorrow with another tier list, and that tier list will be a lot shorter than this one. This has been the guy that makes random tier lists, signing off.